My best friend Jake's wife died about a month ago in a car crash and he's handling it terribly. He's a complete mess, and while we all try to be there for him, he's become very depressed and spends his time either drinking or sleeping. They had a little girl who's 3 years old, and while he's not neglecting her, I can tell he's barely holding himself together as it is. A few days ago, Jake told me he can't stand being in his house anymore because it makes him remember his wife, but that he'd force himself to take a few sleeping pills to sleep. Cut to yesterday at 1 a.m., my wife and I were waken up by someone banging at our door. I open to see Jake and his daughter at my door, and he asks if he can sleep here for the night because he can't handle being in his house anymore. I tell him she can stay, but he can't because he has to get over it eventually. He gives me the dirtiest glare I've ever seen and leaves without saying anything. Today I found out that Jake went back to his house, put his daughter to sleep, then went and slept on the streets. When my wife found out, she called me a massive asshole, but I don't think I was. My intention wasn't to kick him out to the streets, it was to help him get over his wife's death. AITA. Edit. Thanks. Reading all your responses have shed a lot of light on how what I did was terrible and came off as me not caring about him. I'll go talk to him a few hours from now and apologize and let him stay here if he needs. I'll discuss his living situation, and if he can't stay in his house, I'll see what I can do.
YTA, because he honestly sounds like he should be on suicide watch. He's not going to just get over it after 1 month. Can you help him find a new apartment?
YTA, she died a month ago and you're telling him that he has to get over it. Jesus.
YTA, massively. I'm having trouble believing that this isn't a shitpost. You think someone should be over their wife's death in a month? That kind of loss isn't something you ever get over completely. Not only was she his wife, she was his partner in life, his co-parent, and now he has to adapt to running his household and raising his daughter on his own. And instead of helping, you turn him away. Wow. This is how you treat someone who is apparently your best friend. I wouldn't even say what you did to someone I didn't like. How would you feel if you were in his situation and this was his reaction? You should apologize, but honestly, that might not be enough.
YTA and GT, I tell him, he has to get over it eventually. It's been a month, dude.
YTA, his whole world is gone. And you can't let him sleep on the couch for one night?
YTA, please go let your wife know that if she suddenly died you would be over her within a month.
YTA, dude, your friend obviously needs some help, and for you to say his daughter can stay but not him must have felt like a massive slap in the face, especially after just losing who he probably cared for the most in this world. If you value him at all, you need to apologize and make this situation right. He turned to you in his time of need and you essentially threw him onto the streets.
YTA, instead of suggesting your buddy get help, you emasculated him in front of his daughter. Your attitude is the equivalent of man up. His wife died a month ago. I can almost guarantee that he is just now starting to process. I really hope you never have to grieve and rely on the support of your friends to get you through the rough patches. YTA. He is your best friend and you rejected him in his time of need. That's fucking awful. And #X2OOB.